Welcome, champs. So today I just wanted to go over this website that I recommend you use to track your calories for our challenge this week. It's called Cronometer.com. So you just go here, you type it into your website browser, and it'll take you to the sign-in sheet. You can sign in, click on sign in, create a new account, log in information. All that's pretty straightforward. And then after you create your account, it'll take you to this page right here. Now, this is completely free. There are options to upgrade the paid membership if you'd like, but it's not needed. All that you need is all included in this free one. It's a very cool website that I really like because it tracks more than just calories. And I'll just quickly go over it with you. So for example, yesterday, I just did this to kind of show an example. If yesterday was your cheat day, and you were eating, just cheat meals and stuff, and whatever the case may be, just enter it in here. If you didn't do this the day before, it's always good to, at the end of the day, when you're done eating, to just put it in so you can mentally see how many calories in the food you ate. So all you have to do first is to go here, and then I would recommend you go to settings, click on settings, and when you go into settings, just go here and enter in your profile. So for example, you click on profile here, and then you enter in your male or female, your birth date, and then just leave the BMR as at the equation that's there. It'll automatically calculate it for you. Or if you want to put in a custom one, that's fine, but don't bother doing that stuff. Keep it simple for yourself. And so my information I entered in, my BMR is about 1,800 calories, which is, I checked with the other one, is pretty close. And then just add in your activity level. So my activity level is moderately active if you're working out 3 times a week, very active if you're working out like 5, 6, 7 days a week. You're very active. So five or more exercises a week is very active. Consistently, light activity is probably going for a walk on 3 times a week. Sedentary is really, you don't do much at all. It's just, I don't do much exercise. And then moderate, of course, and then active. So if you're really active, just put it in there. Or if you only work out 3 times a week, just put moderately active, and it'll add additional calories to your BMR. So mine is additional 880. And if I put in very active, it'll bump it up to 1,500 calories. So then you go on the side here, you put in your current weight, and then your heights, 5'11". It'll convert it for you to centimeters. And it'll tell you approximately what your body fat is based on this equation and the BMI. So mine is a lot lower than that, so I'm not worried about it. It's just a tracking thing. And then it'll also tell you your BMI. So your BMI is automatically calculated based on your weight and your height. And the BMI for healthy adults it should be less than 25. So your goal is to try to get closer to 20. 20 would be an ideal number for all adults. So get close to 20 in your BMI, you should be okay. Now, the closer you are to your 20 BMI of 20, it'll also give you the ideal weight for you. And then if you scroll down, you can then enter in your goal weight. So I'm 185 right now. I'm trying to get down to 175 or a little less, depending on my goals for body fat and abs and all that stuff. And then your goal timeline is you click on here and you just put in, if you wanted to lose 2 pounds a week, you'll put, okay, I want to be aggressive and lose 2 pounds a week. And it'll give you a timeline on how long it'll take you to get there from where you are to where you want to be. So over a period of time, so right now it's February, so I'm currently at 185, and then it's telling me that you reach your goal if you stay consistent March 25th. So in about a month's time, I will lose the 10 pounds I want to lose, which is fine. It's ideal. You can go faster if you want, but if you're trying to lose 10 pounds, about 4 weeks is ideal. It's not too aggressive, and it kind of helps you stay consistent. So just put your data in here, and then if you like your goal weight to show up in your diary, you just click that, Or if not, just click it off or click it on, and it'll show it in your diary every day. Okay, so that's it. So your profile, and then if you'd like, you can go here and set your targets. So actually, I recommend you do this. So after you set your profile, go to targets, set your targets, and then just click this to make it active, show calorie summaries in your diary. And then how do you want to track your carbohydrates? I would just leave it at total carbs. Yeah, change it to total carbs. And then scroll down and go to your macro targets. So this is the one I was talking about in the video that I share with you in our week 3 challenge for month 2. So go to set macros and just click macro ratios. So it'll give it in percent. So this one you can change them. So I recommend a protein of 20 or more if you want to gain muscle, more muscle, about 65% carbs, and no more than 15% fat. Now remember, fat is more than double the calories of a carbohydrate or protein. So protein, 1 gram is 4 calories. Carbohydrates, 1 gram is 4 calories, but fat, 1 gram is 9 calories. So we want to keep the fat low in the poly diet, and that's what we want to do. Now, if you're doing the keto diet, it'll be reverse. So your protein will be around 20 to 30%, depending on how much muscle you want to build. And then your carbohydrates will only be like 10% max. And then the rest will be fat. So you can track that in here if you're doing a keto diet. Of course, I always recommend that you don't stay on it for too long. It's always good to switch back to the Polynesian diet because that is the way our ancestors live, and that is the way nature intended for us to eat. All these wonderful, delicious fruits on trees and starchy carbohydrates like taros and roots like sweet potatoes and all those things. Potatoes are good for you. So this is the recommended ratio for a poly diet. Just enter it in here. And again, if you want to increase your protein to 25%, then you just go here and lower that to 60%. If you want to go even higher so you can build more muscle, you can make it 30%. And then you can lower your fat maybe to 10%. So you just play around with that. But fat should be no less than 15%. So I'll just keep it at that to start off, and then you can always adjust your macros as you go along, right? So 20% protein, 65% carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, and then no more than 15% fat. And then you can go down here if you want to get detail. You can do these other things, but it's not required. And if you like, there's a diet option down here. If you're doing keto, you can click that. Vegan, vegetarian. So ours is more like a flexitarian. So just click on that. There is no poly here. There's paleo and all the zone and also all this carb, different diet programs. Poly is not in it yet, but it's close to flexitarian. So you can click that. And then that's it. So you're all set. And it'll automatically save all of your targets and also your profile. And then if you would like to share with any devices, you can click here. If you have a Fitbit, connect it to it. You can connect all these different gadgets to the Cronometer program so you can share it. And then if you would like to share it with a coach or a friend, you can add their name here or a professional. It's totally up to you. You can add it here, or your spouse. You can add it here to keep you accountable. It's totally up to you. And then what you do is you go back to your diary. When you're done with that, go back to your diary and start entering in your food. So I've just done this for an example. So my weight automatically shows here at 185. And then I just entered in, okay, you click on add food. And then it'll pop up. Then you enter in the food you want to add. Or you're planning on eating today or tomorrow. Or you've already eaten today and forgot to put this in so you can see how many calories you've eaten so far. And you could type it in here. It'll pull up any like banana, almond milk, taro, sugar, whatever mostly you want. You enter it in here. You click on it. For example, I had banana with my smoothie this morning, or I had banana with my oatmeal. And then down here, how many serving banana? I had 1. And it's kind of slow. You click on here and say, I had a medium banana, a small banana, a large banana, whatever it is. Click on that. And then you click on add. and it'll automatically add it into your diary for the day and automatically calculates your calories that you've eaten or planning on eat today or tomorrow. I recommend that you do this the day before or the night before so you'll know exactly what you're going to eat the day after or tomorrow. Remember, you are a creator. You create your own reality. So creating your food the day before, the night before, will help you stay with that. Now, after you create this, the next challenge and the next thing you want to do is to do required work. So eat only the foods you have planned for yourself inside Cronometer.com or even MyFitnessPal, whichever one you wish to use. So as you can see here, the program has already calculated my amount of calories that I'm burning based on my activity level and my BMR. So as you can see here, I've actually added some exercises in here to increase that. So if you want to increase your calories burned, you add an exercise. And this is the calories consumed, okay? So our goal, as after you'll see here, it'll tell you, okay, you've got 400 calories remaining to max out at 100%. So you'll see here your energy level. It'll tell you, oh, you're at 83%, meaning that you've eaten 83% of your calories allowed for the day. Now, the goal here is to stay at 80% or less. So if you're wanting to lose weight slowly, I would recommend that you go 20% under your 100% or 20% below this data. So I recommend you try to get this no more than 80%. And if you want to go a little faster, drop it down to 70%. This information is based off of the information you entered inside settings, under profile, and your targets. And then protein, we put in there one at 15% or a 20% protein. Well, in this particular, because it was a cheat day, you may have eaten chocolate cake or corned beef briskets, ice cream bars, whatever it is you eat, you put it in here. You'll notice that your information is really out of whack. So your protein's 56%. You're at 56% of your 15% target. And then your carbs, you're only at 66% of your 65% target. So what you want to do is hit 100% on these, protein, carbs, and fat. And you can tell here my fat is way over the 15% allowed. It's 200%, so it means it's double. So that means it's 30%, more than 30% of the total. So these will tell you 100, your target here for protein should be 100, carbs 100, fat 100 now or less. So fat could be 80%, you're still okay. You don't want to go over 100 on any of these, especially fat, because now you've eaten too much fat and your body will store it as fat. So be very careful with that. So it's all in here. And if you want to go back to history, you can click on going back. You can see that on Saturday, this is the stuff you ate, and it tells you that, oh, you have about 700 calories remaining, and your energy is right at 70%, which is where you want to. So you don't want to, again, energy here should be at 70 to 80%, depending on how fast you want to lose the weight. And it's telling me I did not eat enough protein, or I didn't get to my 20% protein. And then my carbs didn't get there as well. Again, my fat, I went over the 15% allowed. So it's over 100%, 145%. So you need to play around with the food you eat and adjust it so you will come out at 70% energy, 70 to 80%, protein 100, carbs 100, and fat 100 or less. Okay? And then just follow that here in your calories burned. And then if you want to burn more calories and you want to eat a little bit more food, what you can do is just add in some exercise. Go here, click here, add exercise, and it'll give you an option. So what did you do today? Oh, I did resistance training today for about 45 minutes. Come down here and type in 45 minutes, and then you click add, and that'll add it in there. As you can see, only 165 calories burned. And this is actually pretty accurate. So just weightlifting doesn't burn much calories. It'll build muscle, but it doesn't burn much calories. So be careful about going crazy with your calories. Just enter it in here. So you see, that helped me drop below 70%. So now it's up to me if I want to add in another food here just to get that back up to 70%, or I can be, oh, I'm fine, I'm full today. I don't want to eat anymore. I'm good. So very simple, right? So pay attention to that. Exercise does not burn much calories. It is the food you eat that controls weight gain or weight loss. But again, it does help you balance it out. So if you know that, oh, I wanted to eat a little bit more, and say, okay, maybe I should go I'm going to go do my 30-minute exercise that we did for the month. And then that'll help you balance it out so you can stay within 70 to 80% on the energy. Now, here's another cool thing I wanted to show you. So Cronometer also tracks not only your macronutrients, but it also tracks your micronutrients, which is really, really cool. Check it out. So you have your B1, all your vitamins listed here, B12, vitamins A, C, D, E, K, they're all listed, and it'll tell you how much you put in, you've eaten or put it into your body from the food that you put here. So it's really cool, so you can see that. And it also tells you about fat, polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, saturated fat, trans fat, good and bad fats are all in here. The minerals you're putting in your body, and this is what I wanted you to understand, that the more wholesome food you eat, the better these numbers will be. And you'll be happy with the results, because now you're building a healthy lifestyle and giving your body the nutrients that it needs, the micronutrients that it needs to grow. It tracks all of your protein, so they're listed here, and everything you need to know. You want to go into details about that. Now, if you're only eating junk food and processed food, these numbers won't look very good. The more wholesome food you eat, and I recommend you eat at least 80% wholesome food every single day. 80 to 90% is the target. You can allow yourself 10 to 20% to eat processed food if you want to. The nice thing about counting calories is now if you have some extra calories, like for over here, I've got 3% more to work with. And I say, oh, I really am craving like a chocolate chip cookie. And then you just enter it in here and see if it's more than what you are allowed to eat. So you just come here, click on your diary, and just say, okay, I wanted to eat chocolate cookie. There, homemade, or you bought it from the store, whatever the case may be. So if you buy it from the store, just buy very little so you don't go over the amount. So you can tell here, I had 1 cup, or I had 1 FDA serving size, whatever the case may be. You just enter it in there and you click add, and it'll add it into your calories. And that 1 chocolate chip cookie from the bakery was about 130 calories, which puts you right over 70%, and totally okay. You're still under 80%, so you're fine and you're happy and you're like, wow, I worked out so hard. And you notice that I wouldn't eat that. I would recommend that if you're going to have something that's unhealthy for you, just eat it right after you exercise. So go for your 30-minute exercise, and then stop by the bakery and then just get the chocolate chip and enjoy it. And don't feel guilty about it, because you're still at a negative for your calories. And step on the scale tomorrow, you'll still lose the weight. This is why I recommend that you count your calories, because you have the freedom to adjust the food you eat, adjust the exercise you do to meet the goals that you want to target and the targets you want for each and every day, every single week, and every time you go. And you'll continue to do this as you track your food, you track your exercise, you track your micronutrients, your macronutrients. Is such a powerful tool. So that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you haven't watched the video for our month 2, week 3 challenge, please watch it. Very powerful. I teach you how you can track your calories, how you can focus on eating the 80% to 90% wholesome food, and stop eating at 80% full. This is the most accurate way to portion the food you put inside your body. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and mind your calories, because they do matter. And let's smash this calorie counting, portioning food process for this week. Do what's required. Enter it in every single day. And every time you post your food for the day, just mention at the bottom how many total calories you ate for that day. Now, you don't have to do this for the rest of your life. Give it yourself 2 to 3 weeks to master this, and then you'll know exactly how many calories are in the food you eat, because the majority of us eat the same food almost every single week. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to do this for the rest of my life. You don't have to, you don't want to, but at least you'll give you an idea of how many calories are in your food, so you can portion it out and master it as you go along. All right. You are a champion. You are a creator show up and do the required work, and you will see success. That's just Wife for Life. Love you guys. Take care.